Well, you set up. How's that? How's that?
I'm
How you like
already
that?
set up. I was set up before you guys. I was sitting in this chair
Yeah, how's that?
at
How you like
six
that?
minutes two.
How you like that?
How you like me now?
How you like me now?
How you like me now?
How you like me now? Speaking of liking things, comes naturally. We are.
Yo,
Mike.
I am Cody. Welcome to this week's episode. We have a lot to talk about, fellas.
do we?
Let's get to it.
Like, there's some things to talk about.
Like a lot?
Well, Disney had their investors call today,
Yeah, they did.
and they announced a lot of stuff. Like,
So late on us.
a lot of stuff. So this will encompass things from Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Fox, in both TV and movies. There's a lot of shit.
Okay.
So, first up, I don't even know where to start, to tell you the truth.
Alphabetically.
I don't even know what the alphabet is.
Start at the top.
Oh man, there's so much to go. Okay, let's see. We'll start here and see how much this goes over. So they announced. Okay, so the stuff we know about already, things like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. They all get release dates. WandaVision is January 15th. March brings us Falcon Winter Soldier, and I believe they said summertime for Loki. I gotta see if I remember this, if I can find it again. Nope, I lost it. I don't know where it went. There's so much shit. It's ridiculous.
But they didn't give a specific date. They just said summertime.
I believe so, yeah. And they gave us a trailer.
Oh, nice. I didn't see that.
Yeah, pretty spectacular. And they are. I mean, we've said this before. Like, The Mandalorian looks really good for a television program. I mean, it's stupendous.
Mm-hmm.
The trailers for Falcon and Winter Soldier and for Loki look like movies.
Nice.
Like, the scale of these are just enormous. I even said to Paige, like, man, these TV shows looking good. She looked at me and goes, what? These are movies. I was like, nah, girl. These ain't movies. These are TV shows coming to a streaming service. And they don't look like it. They look like they're fresh out the big screen. It's crazy. I should have had everything open, but my computer was like, meh, you're not going to have that. So, what else did they announce on here? Let's see. What can I do to make this easier? Other things around stuff we already know about is the three main movies that Marvel will have. Black Widow, The Eternals, and Shang-Li, right? I think is the other one. They're all going to be in theaters, not streaming, so theaters only. So that's obviously a little different than what everyone kind of wanted them to be, but Disney plays by their own ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So they will have they won't be doing a Mulan thing, but they are doing that with Raya and the Last Dragon, that new animated one.
Okay.
That one's going to be theaters as well as Disney Plus simultaneously with the premiere price tag on that one. I don't think they announced a price for it, but I'm probably guessing it's probably that $30 price tag again. Yeah, I don't think they said it in the article I read earlier. Yeah, I don't see one. But it will be day and date with streaming service, just like it was from March 5th, I believe. Yep, March 5th will be the Disney Plus premiere access for it as well. So kind of cool, but also, I don't know. Again, we had this discussion. It's good for families who, it's way cheaper to do that than it is to bring our little ones to the theater just for not even talking snacks and stuff, just movie tickets and themselves.
Yeah.
Before I actually forget this, we're not talking about. Well, we are talking about this because they're talking about Disney umbrella stuff. It was confirmed they're doing a Aliens TV show with Ridley Scott and Noel Hawley of Legion and Fargo fame.
Nice.
So that's pretty
Any
cool.
indication of what the story's about?
So as of right now, no. But one of the things I did find very interesting is I don't know why this didn't dawn on me before. Why the Last Man is technically a Disney property now.
Who owned it before? Fox?
It was on FX.
FX. Oh, which would have been Fox, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, it popped up. I was like, they showed a logo. I was like, why do they have something called Why the Last Man? And then I was like, what?
Assuming this actually makes it off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Do they have anybody attached to that right now?
Diane Lane's in it.
Diane Lane.
Yeah, she plays the mom, Senator Brown.
Well, now we know Mike's going to watch it.
He loves him, Diane Lane.
Loves Diane Lane.
Facts.
But no, I don't. I was trying to look at the aliens thing. I don't think they actually set up plot wise, but I guess Noah is working with Ridley Scott on it, so it's gonna be, at least gonna have the stamp of approval, I guess you could say, on it. He said, and I'm not in the last few weeks. I've been having those conversations about it. Obviously, talking about aliens, but I know that, like any studio, that's a great desire to make the most of one's library. So, wouldn't surprise me to see something like that. And he's talking about fleshing out the Disney-owned properties from across all their stuff now, and obviously Aliens is one of them because, well.
Maybe we can get Neil Blomkamp to direct an episode or two.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Might as well.
Right.
I mean, because it's Noah Hawley doesn't. I don't think he directs. I think he just is the showrunner on that stuff, like producer and stuff for like Fargo and I'd have to look it up. I'm not too sure. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Why not reach out and be like, hey, we know we kind of fucked you over last time. Would you like to come on board for this?
Unfuck you over.
Yeah, exactly. Unfuck you over.
Yeah. Fuck
Okay.
you over in a good way?
Always try to unfuck over if you have the choice between the two.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I think.
That's how it fucking works, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, speaking of adult content, or mature content, as it was said, Disney did announce that they're going to expand the Disney Plus platform to include mature material.
Okay.
So what that basically encompasses is the stuff that falls under the other tents other than Marvel and stuff they have in there now. So Marvel, Star Wars, Simpsons, Nat Geo. So it includes a lot of stuff from television programs from FX, including things like Why the Last Man, and Atlanta on FX, and I believe I think Sunny falls in that one too, which just, by the way, got renewed for a season fucking 18 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But what they're going to do is they're going to introduce a new tab or tile as they call it, called Star or Star Plus. And what this is basically going to be a mature content category to have things like some of the shows I just mentioned, but also movies like the Secret Service movies, the Kingsman movies, and other stuff. And it's going to be, what you'll do is you'll log in to your streaming service and your account, and you'll go into options. There'll be a new box to click on, and you can enable the mature content, and then you can lock it with a password so kids can't access it. So it's not accessible always, but you can have them so they have to put a password in to actually be able to view anything on there.
Makes
so
sense.
that's an interesting way of doing it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. but it's also someone mentioned because I don't know if we talked about it on here, but there was rumors that Disney was going to incorporate Hulu into Disney Plus, and I said no, because you can't, because they don't fully own Hulu. They just have majority share of it. But they do have a shit ton of stuff on there because of all the FX stuff and the Fox stuff and things like that. So this is their way around, essentially. That is, they will basically allow you to have a lot of that content on the Disney's half of it, so you don't have to pay another service fee of getting Hulu. You can now have it all on Disney Plus, so that one price, which is, as of right now, is $6.99, right?
I have no idea. I don't pay for it.
And
My
then
brother does.
And then March comes along, and March they're actually raising it $1.
Nothing to me.
Yeah, money? What? That's the stuff I wipe my ass with.
Yeah, right. I wish.
So yeah, so in March they're gonna raise the price $1, so it's gonna go up to like $8 a month or whatever. But you're still gonna have all that stuff available to you, via, Hulu if you want it, but also a lot of that stuff's gonna show up on Disney Plus as well. So that's pretty handy. What else are we talking about? So a lot of they announced, as Mike got super excited about, Hocus Pocus 2, Sister Act 3.
Okay.
An Enchantment suit. You guys remember the movie Enchantment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing a sequel called Disenchantment.
it makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You're trying to rechant it, so that makes sense.
Yep. They're doing a sequel. I think it's a series. I'm not too sure. To the Mighty Ducks, called Mighty Ducks Game Changers, and Emilio Estevez is coming back for it.
That one's a little weird.
So that's back on there. Turner and Hooch reboot series.
Okay.
3 Men and a Little Lady, or 3 Men and a Baby, I think is actually what they said it was going to be. I'm trying to remember all the other. There's so much stuff. It's fucking mind-boggling.
Those last two were kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I love Turner and Hooch, but I don't need what made Turner and Hooch was Tom Hanks. You're gonna replace him with somebody else, obviously.
Well, yeah, I believe so.
For the show. No thanks.
So Mandalorian, we'll talk if you guys want to, if we still have time. We can talk about the last episode, but they announced 2 spin-off series from The Mandalorian. So you have the first one is Ahsoka, featuring Rosario Dawson.
Very nice.
And the second one is called Rangers of the New Republic, which they haven't announced anything yet, but I'm guessing it's probably Cara Dune.
Okay.
So that'll be 2 series coming right off of that with what they said is a major crossover event for all 3 shows.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they gave us a release date for season 3 of The Mandalorian, which will be essentially the same time next year.
Yeah.
So essentially beginning of November again. We also have a live-action retelling of Pinocchio, directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Tom Hanks. I'm guessing as Geppetto, probably.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. If he played the puppet,
The Polar Express does.
I would love that movie so much.
Geppetto, why is your son so aged? He's made of wood. They're doing a Peter Pan and Wendy. I believe it's a movie, which is going to have Jude Law not starring, but Jude Law is going to be playing Captain Hook.
Okay.
Bring back Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Boo.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, there's a trailer for if I didn't mention it earlier, for Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's a trailer for it, so you can actually see more of it. Pretty cool. They do a straight up Mission Impossible scene where he just jumps out of a fucking giant jet flying in the air. I was like, okay, this dude is losing his mind. Loki, which will be Loki is May of 2021. My bad, I said that wrong. March 19th is Falcon Winter Soldier. So every basically 3 months or so, we're gonna get another Marvel TV show. They announced the casting for the Miss Marvel show, which is going to be the one based on the teenage-ish Miss Marvel character. She will have, it'll be sometime, it's coming out in 2021. They don't give it a time frame, but they have that, and she will make her film debut in Captain Marvel 2 in 2022 as well. Another Marvel TV show is going to be bringing Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn back from Captain Marvel to be in a Secret Invasion TV show.
That'll be dope.
So that's pretty dope. Then they're doing another TV show based on Ironheart, which is a newer character named Riri Williams, who is the female Iron Man. If you guys remember a couple years ago, they introduced her in the comic book series. So that's pretty cool. And then they announced Armor Wars, starring Don Cheadle as War Machine.
Oh, nice.
On there as
Jesus
well.
Christ.
Yeah. So that's insane. Just another fucking swinging dick move at that point. Let's see. That's the Marvel stuff and some of the Star Wars stuff. They announced the Lando Calrissian show.
I was reading
announced
about that earlier. It didn't mention, at least the article that I read, didn't mention who's going to be playing Lando.
They did not announce it yet.
Okay.
Boo.
Yeah, so
Either way you go, it would be awesome if you brought back Billy D. Williams or if you brought back spacing out his name.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah.
I agree. Let's see. For other Disney stuff, we have a bunch of TV shows coming out. We have a Cars TV show. We have a show called Doug Days, which is the dog from Up. So it's a show based around him.
That's random as fuck.
Yeah, right?
Right.
I already talked about the Raya and the Last Dragon going to premiere streaming. Let's see what else. They're doing a Buzz Lightyear prequel show. Well, not prequel show, but it's a show about him in the Star Command. And it's gonna be voiced by Chris Evans.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yep. And fully animated by Pixar, so it's not a cartoon like an animation cartoon. It's going to be a CG cartoon. They announced Andor, which is the prequel series about the character from Rogue One, Cassian Andor. They announced that Hayden Christensen is coming back to play Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Which would be pretty dope.
And they gave it a title screen, if you can see.
Dang.
Yeah. So that'll be out in 2022, I believe they said. And it's basically they promised us an epic rematch between Vader and Kenobi. Sizzle reel.
People be saying, "Still have the high ground, bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Then we have Rangers of the New Republic. You have that right there. That's one of the spin-off shows from Mandalorian. You have Ahsoka there. You have something called Star Wars Visions.
Interesting.
Yep. We have Willow, which is apparently a sequel
To the Willow.
to Willow. Yep.
To Willow, yeah. Have they announced anything about bringing back? Because I thought they announced that a few days
They
ago.
did. Warwick Davis is coming back for it.
Warwick Davis, but
Val
obviously
Kilmer,
you're not going to get Val Kilmer back.
We don't know yet. They didn't say anything on there, but there are rumors that Val Kilmer is probably going to make some kind of appearance in it.
I know he can't really talk now, but
Yeah.
cameo.
Little Mermaid live action. They announced the cast. So Aquafina is actually going to be in it, Mike. So I know you're happy about that one.
She's dope.
She's going to play Scuttle, the seagull.
Oh, okay.
You have Halle Bailey as Ariel. You have David Diggs as Sebastian. You have Javier Bardem as King Triton. A child actor named Jacob Tremblay as Flounder. Melissa McCarthy is going to play Ursula. And Jonah Hauer King is playing Prince Eric. So that's another one. Then they have a Chippendales Rescue Rangers coming out from Akiva Schaffer. It's going to be starring John Mulaney and Adam Sandberg.
Oh my God, yes.
It's an original movie. Yeah, it's an original movie coming out.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, right?
I watch that now.
We talked about those two. That's Raya and the Last Dragon. Baymax TV show. Zootopia Plus TV show.
Okay.
Tiana TV show, which is the princess from Princess and the Frog.
Mm-hmm.
And a Moana TV show.
Oh, Mike.
God damn.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Wonder if they're going to recast the voices of it, or somehow just get them to come back.
We don't know. We have some time because they don't come out until 2023. So,
which is fine. I mean, and they've apparently got the money to bring them back for voice actors.
Yeah. They teased something called Encanto, which is from the team that brought what is it? It's the ones that did I want to say it's the ones that did the last couple Disney animated ones like Frozen and Enchanted and what's the other ones they did, like the last handful of Disney ones. But it's gonna be music written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. They have another one coming out from Pixar called Turning Red, and this is the picture for it.
The big red panda.
Yeah, so basically what happens is this girl, the character, so it's basically directed by the guy who did the short Bow. Remember the little honey bun, or the little bun guy with the lady ate her son, which is really disturbing.
When the mom ate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's called Turning Red. It says meet May, who's the little girl. Boop. Again. She experiences awkwardness of being a teenager with an added twist. When she gets too excited, she transforms into a giant red panda. So that's the thing. Yep.
That's batshit crazy.
Yep. Then they have a teaser trailer for the Buzz Lightyear.
It's like a teddy bear version of the Hulk.
Yeah. Like a panda version, a teddy panda version. It's called the Buzz Lightyear show. It's called Lightyear. That's the logo for it. It's Chris Evans. And that one's going to be in theaters on June 17th, 2022.
It's based on the man that the toy was based off of.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, not the toy. I should say the man that the toy is based on, which apparently is a real thing in that universe.
Okay.
And they show a picture of him.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. WandaVision, we talked about. Falcon Winter Soldier, we talked about. Loki, we talked about. Do go watch the trailer for the Falcon Winter Soldier right after this, guys, because it's pretty dope. They gave us a trailer for What If, the cartoon. You get a taste of the...
Oh, nice.
Of it. Has a lot of voices. And I'm not going to spoil it for you if you watch it, but just pay attention to who's who in it when you're watching. Because if you remember what If is, it's where they spin the characters in different origins. It's pretty rad. There's one that's going to be extremely popular. There's Miss Marvel. Announced today, John Watts, the director of all three Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, is going to be helming the...
Fantastic Four.
Yep. So that's pretty interesting. Most likely going to be teased in the new Spider-Man movie because clearly they're doing something with the multiverse because, well, they're bringing in other Spider-Mans from other movies. So
Every
that's
Spider-Man
pretty dope.
ever.
Yeah,
And Alfred Molina is coming
Alfred
back
Molina's
as Doc
coming.
Ock,
Yeah. So
right?
because they're
That's
both
fucking
getting a villain.
crazy.
Yeah, they're
You're
both
already
getting a
bringing
villain for
back,
movies.
What's his name that played J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you got Alfred Molina coming back to play Doc Ock. Yeah.
You have Jamie Foxx coming
So
back to
he's-
Electro. So it looks
Bring
like
back-
it looks like each of the Spider-Man get their. I mean, obviously Tom Holland Spider-Man has his own villains already, but each of the Spider-Man is going to bring across their own villain. So Doc Ock is going to obviously be Tobey Maguire's, and Electro is going to be Andrew Garfield's, and then apparently Kristen Dunst is coming back as well. And I think they're going to. Yeah, so I think they're going to probably do something like they did, kind of what they did in Spider-Verse, where each of them have a pivotal moment in their life where they get kind of ripped out, and I think it's going to be the fights with those villains. So it's going to be Andrew Garfield's fight with Electro. It's going to be Tobey Maguire's fight with Doc Ock, which would include Kristen Dunst's character because she was involved in that fight as well.
Yeah.
So that's just my speculation on it, but I don't know.
Dope.
So they announced Captain Marvel 2 in 2022. Hawkeye TV show, full swing. It's in production right now. They're already filming it. The She-Hulk show is going to actually have Mark Ruffalo in it.
Nice.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. Moon Knight officially announced.
Oh shit.
Yeah, batshit
Weird.
crazy. Secret Invasion, like I mentioned earlier. Ironheart, Armor Wars, the Guardian of the Galaxy Holiday Special, written and directed by James Gunn for next year.
What?
An animated short series called I Am Groot.
Ah,
They announced the character Christian Bale's playing in Thor: Love and Thunder, and he is Gore the God Butcher. So go ahead and type that in. It's Gorr, God Butcher. They announced the title for the new Ant-Man and Wasp movie. It's called Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania.
Nice.
And they announced that the villain
like
for
a
that
big
movie.
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They announced the villain for that movie is going to be Kang the Conqueror, so the big robot guy. That's pretty cool. Loki show, which is just looks amazing. What else do we got? I think that's all that's on there.
Patty Jenkins is directing.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. Patty Jenkins is doing Rogue
One,
Squadron.
or not Rogue Squadron movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because that's going to probably have Wedge Antilles in it, which is
Right.
pretty rad. They're doing another one called The Acolyte, which is going to be based in the fall of the New Republic. Or the original Republic, I think. I can't remember what it was. They're everywhere. Or High Republic, I'm sorry, that's what they call it. So it's the future or the past versions of them. They did announce a new animated show called The Bad Batch, which is going to be, I think, is going to be done by Dave Filoni because it looks like his stuff. It looks just like Clone Wars and Rebels. There's so much stuff. Talked about Andor already. Shogun is coming to Fox, which is if I'm not mistaken, by the same people who did. Right? Is that the same one that did that one? God damn it! There's so much stuff on here, but it's based on a book called Shogun, I believe, and it's set in like the year 1600 or some nonsense. So that's insane. That's gonna be on FX, most likely Hulu and maybe Disney Plus at that point. What else? What else we got there, fellas? So much shit. They will not be recasting Black Panther for Black Panther 2. They confirmed it. Apparently he's working hard on the script right now, trying to figure everything out.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the worst things possible to have to try and explain that type of death off screen.
or not explain it at all. But I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do.
You have to explain it.
Owen Wilson is in the Loki show, by the way. So that's weird. He plays one of the guys who runs the time prison. Which is just when you watch the trailer, you'll understand what I mean. It's fucking fantastic. Fantastic Four, Whoopi Goldberg coming back for Sister Act 3.
That's so ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
I've joked about that for so long. I didn't think it would ever fucking happen. I feel partially responsible. My fault, guys. My bad.
I mean, it's not bad yet,
It's not bad
I
yet.
hope it's good.
right?
It's been confirmed that the new Blade is a movie, at least one as of right now, but it's it definitely said it's a movie. It's not a TV show or anything like that. Tim Roth is returning as Abomination in She-Hulk. So that's
That's
pretty cool.
crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Rogue Squadron. Boo boo boo. So much other shit. Oh, Handmaid's Tale getting a 5th season on Hulu. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia gets renewed through season 18. Jesus Christ, there's like, fuck it, give them money, be dirty. Man, there's so much. I didn't even touch on the video game stuff yet from the Video Game Awards. That shit's still coming in. I think it's almost everything that I saw. And more details are coming out. Oh, and Indiana Jones 5, slated for a 2022 release, will conclude franchise, as they are stated on the call today.
Good.
So we'll have to wait another 30 years and we'll get some new ones. But most likely 2 of the 3 of us will be dead by then, so it's fine.
Right.
Mike's like, yeah. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, wait.
I might be one of those
Am I one of
too.
the two?
That might not be good news for me, fellas.
Yeah, well,
Shit.
you and Joe ran a good life.
Hey, man.
He's not making it.
Well, I'm going to die in a horrible accident. That's what it's going to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that got real fucking dark. I know I'm missing something. I know it.
From what? From the
From
Disney
the
thing?
from the Disney stuff. There's so much. It's just they literally just shit out so much stuff. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty much everything I've seen.
Oh, maybe I did get everything. Maybe I did get everything. It's just there. I mean, there's. Oh my
It's a
god.
lot to announce all at once.
Yeah, and they showed off stuff too that we haven't seen yet. They showed all the trailers and stuff we saw is what they released publicly, because there was 2 ways to watch it. I didn't watch it because I didn't want to watch it through. You can't they're being really weird about it because you can only view it through a browser. And I was like, I'm not gonna stream it to from my phone or whatever. I'm just gonna wait and I kind of wish I would have, but so they blacked out a bunch of stuff that wasn't available to watch unless you're an investor, which I am not. But I mean, obviously the stuff they did show us is just mind-boggling, because I mean, look, all the stuff we just went over in the last 30-something minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, just there's so much to keep going, and it's just gonna more and more details are gonna come out. So we're gonna just get more and more of it as we go through. Like I said, I haven't even gone through any of this really stuff from Video Game Awards yet, other than Vin Diesel is in a cinematic for Arc 2. I guess he's in the game too. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
All sorts of weird shit. Yeah, I don't know. A new Soul Calibur game. I don't know. There's just, again, a bunch of shit. Master Chief is in Fortnite. Fucking just,
All right.
There's, like I said, there's so much stuff. It's just, today has been news overload, and it all happened in the last 2 hours. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Anyhow, so we all watched the last episode of Mandalorian, right?
Correct.
Yes, we did.
Okay, let's not worry about Taj because we know he's always behind.
Right.
And not in a fun way, like the shitty way. Sex stuff, Mike. So what do we think? What do we think of the 6th episode of 8 for season 2 so far? First off, let's go over what did we see in this episode that made us upset?
Well, I might as well get it over with then. It's not my favorite episode. It really wasn't. It was a great episode to get from point A to point B, but there's no story in there. It was just, let's show a bunch of action. Let's give you fan service of getting people the Boba Fett, you get to see chubby Boba Fett in his armor.
Dad bod Boba Fett.
That was cool. Sure. Fine. I've never had an attachment to the characters, so it didn't really mean anything to me. And so it was really just a blah episode to me. It looked great. There was a lot of cool action. The fighting was cool. But to me, it just wasn't a great episode. It just was how do we add some drama to the last 2 episodes without really moving the story along? We just do this and we're done. And it was 30. What? It felt like 20 minutes. The episode.
Yeah, it went fast.
It felt like super short. So that's my complaint about it.
Michael, what'd you think?
I loved the episode for all the reasons Joe did not like the episode.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
32 minutes, by the
way.
I know.
It was just fun, man. But you're completely right. It didn't move the story. It wasn't necessarily needed, but it was a very fun episode at the very least.
So Robert Rodriguez directed this episode. So if you don't know who Robert Rodriguez is, that's
Spy Kids, right?
Dusk Till Dawn, yeah.
Oh, Spy Kids, Mike, huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so Mike's not allowed to talk anymore. Might as well say fucking Shark Girl and Lava Boy or whatever. So he directed it. Obviously, action was the forefront of the whole thing. This episode, I don't agree with Joe because I enjoyed it, but this episode had a lot of interesting links and revelations to other stuff. Obviously, Boba Fett finding out what happened to him. We don't fully know what happened to him other than the fact that he escaped the Sarlacc pit. Somehow got his armor stolen by the Jawas, probably because they're just like, oh, dead body armor. We get to find out how that Jango technically is a Mandalorian now, because he is a foundling. He's found by the Death Watch, much like Mando, Din Djarin is. You see the hologram that Boba shows him, that basically shows the lineage of the armor and the fact that him and his father are both technically Mandalorians by the adoption rules of a foundling, brought up in the way of. Clearly they fell off because obviously whatever happened, whoever brought in Jango into that, I can't remember what his name was. He had his master's name was on there when you decode the Mandalore writing that was on there. Most likely his dad's mentor or the person who found him died in the Civil War of Mandalore, causing Jango to abandon the moon, much like the rest of the Mandalorians did. But that was a pretty cool thing. There was a cool link to a Darth Vader comic book when Grogu was first on the Seeing Stone, and a lot of people missed this. When he goes and sits when he gets sat on the Seeing Stone, some blue butterflies appear, and that's a thing that's happened in a couple of different times, I think. But the one I know of was from a miniseries done by Charles Soule, Darth Vader one, where he would meditate, and it was shown floating above a storm-riddled lake with a giant violent storm behind him, and there's a swarm of blue butterflies flying around him. And this is the same thing. As soon as Grogu is sat down, those butterflies start to show up, and he starts to interact with them, but Din doesn't actually react to them, which means he probably doesn't see them. And then, of course, he goes into this trance with little meditation fingers, and the blue aura shoots off the Seeing Stone, and you see the ruins that go around it. And obviously the force of that shield around him stops Din from being able to pick him up and get him off that, and he communes with somebody. We don't know who, but there's lots of rumors. So that was pretty cool. We had to see the Darksaber again. Finally makes a proper appearance, which obviously is a big thing with Bo-Katan from a couple episodes back. And then the Razor Crest gets exploded, and so Mando has to hitch a ride with Boba, but they essentially have a pact still. It's a life debt because he basically made a barter, the safety of the child for the armor. And then obviously the deal isn't finished yet, so he's helping Din go rescue Grogu, I'm guessing, with hopefully the help of Cara Dune and some others. I guess we'll probably get the crew back together. Maybe since they're going after them, maybe Bo-Katan will join in too, since they're going in the same place. You know what I mean? She's going after the saber, and Gideon has the saber, and he has Grogu, so might as well team up and work together again. Which would be interesting because
they don't know that yet, so I'm sure they might just run into each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean,
more something instead of necessarily going to find them and team up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that they're going to be like, hey, you're going that way, we're going that way. Why don't we link up and go murder people together for justice, of course. But yeah, what do you think we're going to see in the next two episodes? Do we get a conclusion to Grogu being kidnapped? Do we get strung along for two more episodes, and it's on a sort of cliffhanger?
I think you get Grogu back by the end of the last episode. What they're going to hint at for the next season is what Jedi responds. That's what's going to be the next reveal, more than likely.
Do you think it's going to be a tease, much like the boots were?
Yeah.
In episode or in season 1 when the boots walked up to what we thought was a dead bounty.
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of which, I forgot. If you guys watch the trailer for the Bad Batch, watch for characters that show up, because there's a very familiar helmet from last episode of The Mandalorian that shows up. So just when you watch it, just kind of pay attention. It goes by one time really quickly, and then it holds on it really heavily for a good second or so. If you remember who was in last episode of Mandalorian, when you watch that trailer, just keep your eyes peeled. What else? I think that's really it for that. Last bit of topic, I have to ask Joe, how are you enjoying your time in Night City?
So I haven't gotten that far into the game. I just arrived at your apartment.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you did
I walked in there.
Intro mission?
Yeah, I did the intro mission, and just basically got to the apartment. It's a really good looking game. It really is. Obviously, on the Series X, it's probably a much better looking game. I have run into some glitches that apparently a lot of people are running into glitches right now. Mine haven't been so bad. They've just been more of kind of funny. Maybe it happened to you when you were doing the combat tutorial stuff. So, he plugs the thing into his head and you do the tutorials. Every time I spawned back in the hub part,
he would move.
He would be walking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't spawn in the center, because just to paint a picture to Mike, imagine a half circle, and you have these terminals. 4 terminals is what they ended up being, and each terminal was a tutorial that you could select.
Okay.
and you're in a bigger room. So every time that I would spawn, I would spawn not in the center of these terminals, but on the outside, slowly walking away from them. It was the weirdest thing. It happened every time. So you would complete one of the terminals, spawn back, and I would just be walking forward outside of them. It was really, really weird.
Yeah.
Also, when the what were they called? That weird response team, the medical response team, comes and picks up the naked lady.
Oh yeah. That's
For
really
a
nuts.
split second. So you drop her off. They pick her up, they put her in the flying car, and they fly away. And for a split second, all of a sudden, all four of the soldiers appeared right in front of me and then disappeared again. It was
I didn't have that.
It was like, what? What the fuck?
So the only, speaking of glitches, I've had some weird things where, like, so you know when you in that mission you kill that big dude with the shotgun thingy.
Yes.
You go in the bathroom, you find out she's still alive. You take her out. When I was leaving the bathroom with her in my arms, and Jackie is walking away, he runs into the body of that dude, and that dude starts flipping in the air, and then stays stationary but dead, hanging in the air, like he was impaled on a stake. So like it had physics for some reason, because you can pick up like. Any body, once you kill them, you can pick them up and dispose of them if you want to get rid of, like, hide the body or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but Jackie interacted with him, and he's like, it was really weird. So I had that one, and then I did another mission after that. Well, two missions, but what's one big mission? Anyways, and I was getting ready to go meet Jackie to do this mission because I just found out about all the info, and I heard, because the city is fully rendered all at once. So you can go across Night City, which is, if you look at the map, is mind-bogglingly big. And so you can drive the whole thing, but as you're driving, because you have fast travel capability, so you can fast travel different points and make it traversal easy. Okay. But as you're driving, the city's alive around you, and there's crime all over the place. And so I heard this noise, and I was like, I wonder what these guys are talking about. So I stopped my car, and I got out, and these four dudes, which I thought were four dudes, actually ended up being six of them, but whatever, they were mugging a dude. So if you scan them, you can find out they have bounties on them. So you can earn money for taking them out. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to take these motherfuckers out. So I distract one of them, so I get down there and get behind him and whatever. Again, not in the fun way. So I pop off a shot at this guy. Miraculously, two more people just materialize out of nowhere. But one of them gets stuck inside of a building, this little like shed that I can't open the door of. But he can poke his arm through the wall and shoot me. And I was like, I can't finish this side mission because I have to kill all of them and then collect the evidence. So the only thing I can do is basically there's a big metal shipping container that's right there. I can stand on the other side of it. He can't hit me. But he can if I go around, he can shoot me. But I can't shoot him through the wall. So eventually I find this shotgun on the ground that has a charge capability. So I hold down the trigger, and it charges with the shot. And I just get real close, and I wait for him to shoot me. So I see his arm, and I shoot him, and he dies. And he actually flew and was partially hanging out of the other side of the building.
Nice.
So I could go loot him. So number one thing I'll tell you right now, loot everything you find.
Oh, yeah, I'm already in like this, like The Witcher, where I'm just walking around going, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to take it. And take that, take that. I don't know what any of this shit does.
You can carry a lot of stuff right out the gate, which I thought was pretty cool. They didn't like limit you. Like, you can only carry 13 and a half things. I carried a lot. I mean, at one point I had 27 guns in my backpack. And I was like, well, this seems weird.
Right.
You get a gun. Little girl, you get 2 guns. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ. And you're selling most of them, and you'll get better ones as you go through, whatever, because obviously it's a level-based game because it's RPG. I already got some dope-ass shit. I already got a gun that I'm waiting to unlock because it's a level 5 light machine gun, or level 6 light machine gun. I'm like, fuck yeah. But there's other things, too, is some weapons have requirements based not just on level, but skill. So if you don't balance your character to a certain type, you can't use certain weapons that have like a skill-based capability, like a weight restriction or like a technical thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, so far it's interesting. There's crafting in the game. Super weird customization when it comes to your character. Like, it's in depth, but doesn't have a lot of stuff, which I thought was weird. Like, there's only like 30 haircuts.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, there might be more if you're a female versus a male. I chose a male character because I was trying to make Geralt from Witcher, which, by the way, you can't make white hair. So my dude has like gray hair and a gray beard.
I was actually kind of mad about that because I was not doing the anyway thing, but I was like, I want that sort of like long hairstyle or like that weird, half ponytail that he does. Not an option.
Nope.
Not an option at all. I'm hoping that you unlock hairstyles somehow later in the game.
Maybe, yeah, that was weird.
That was weird that they didn't have that. That was creating my character was a weirdness, and admittedly it was my fault because I feel really dumb that I was creating. Well, okay, so here's what it was. I go into it. I finally get to the character creation screen, and I'm going through the first couple of ones, which were just like skin color, your basic. What was it? What was next? It was like skin color, hair type, and blah blah blah. And for some reason, couldn't figure out why the D-pad wasn't pushing down for some reason. Like, it worked for the first couple, and then it wasn't working at all after that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I realized that for some reason, they also gave you a cursor on the left stick, which made no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. But if you used the cursor, then it basically disabled the D-pad. And so I accidentally hit the cursor, and I scroll all the way down to the bottom. And suddenly that's the part where it's like, here's make your characters junk. And I was like, oh, I heard about this. And literally there's the default option, which is shorts. And then you're like, well, what's the next option? Yeah, just floppy dong. Just floppy dong.
Three sizes of floppy dong, though.
3 sizes of floppy dong.
3 sizes.
Small, default, and big.
Yep.
So I was like, wow, okay. So I start going back up, and I'm like, man, I thought Cody said that there was like a bunch of options to like change your character out and stuff, but I'm not seeing any of this shit. That's weird. And then I realized that because of the weird scrolling problem that I had, I skipped by like all the other options.
Body mods, tattoos, piercings, face tattoos, body tattoos,
piercings,
all sorts of stuff,
And then, of course, like chin and facial hair. And there was like a subsection for facial hair because you could pick your facial hair type, and then you can pick your facial hair, I don't even know
style.
what they called it. Style, yeah.
Yeah, so if you picked a beard, you could do a beard with just with no mustache. You could do a beard with a mustache, or you can do a mustache without a beard. You can lamb chops, like all sorts of weird shit. And there's not a lot of them, but there's just a lot of like categories. I just was hoping for like a lot more colors and styles.
Yeah, the color seemed very lacking.
Yeah,
I get it. If there's a lot of options there if you want to make your hair blue or red or orange or anything. But if you wanted to, at least for me, I wanted to start out with a very normal looking character. So he looks 100% human. I don't even have any of the augmentations showing on it, and I want to see how that progresses over time while playing the game, adding augmentations and whatnot, getting new upgrades, and see what that looks like rather than starting off with looking like somebody that has been augmented already. Yeah.
Yeah. I found some Mantis blades already.
The controls of the game are pretty wonky, too. I need to go in and find out how to adjust the aiming for the gun, because there seems to be like a slow, fast.
Yeah, some of them...
Aiming to it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got used to it in a way, but some of the guns are, because you have to upgrade your capabilities for your hands and arms to be able to control the guns better. But I mean, it's some of the guns are pretty wild, especially when you go to this next mission, because you start finding all sorts of guns, submachine guns, rifles, shotguns. I found a machine pistol, which is wild. I was like, oh shit, I'm shooting the roof. All sorts of grenades. Like I had like a chemical grenade where it infects them with poison, and they're like, fuck, they're coughing. I was like, haha, bang, dummy. But yeah, the choices you get to make, like there's a lot of like talking and making different character choices and stuff. Then once you get to the next part you're going to go to, and you go away from the linear portion of it, the training portion, you're going to get overwhelmed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because anything you see activates in the map.
Mm-hmm.
So you're walking, and random people will be talking, and if you interact with them, they could be a side mission thing.
It's already happened on the car ride from that rescue mission to your apartment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exposition going on, but if you're paying attention to the mini map, you're seeing things that are just like popping up on there, like whatever this explosion icon is, whatever this is. You're hearing, which was weird as well. Another weird glitchy thing I would say is that I'm literally hearing full-on loud conversations, even though I'm sitting inside of a car.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Somebody else, that was fucking weird. But just to go back to the wonkiness of the controls a little bit, the cars seem like very touchy to me. Just the steering was just like, the first time I tried to control the car, I was like, oh, I'm going a little bit too right, and suddenly I'm going left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, I gotta go and adjust the.
And then the final one is okay. So where did you start? What path did you choose?
I chose
because you had the nomad, the corporate person, and then the street urchin, essentially.
Street kid, right?
Okay, so you chose a street kid. So yeah. I chose the nomad.
I was gonna choose nomad, but I like the style of the street kid more.
And I like the idea of starting outside the wall and seeing a little bit more of the world before I get into it. Which, by the way, you basically drive right into Night City. So there really wasn't a whole lot outside of the wall for now, at least. But there was one. It's a short little mission where you have to make it up to a radio antenna because your small handheld isn't broadcasting as far as you want it to. So you walk up there, and then the last little bit is a ladder. You walk up to the ladder like most games now, where you just walk up, automatically attach, and you just walk, and you just go up. I complete the little thing, and I'm walking back, and I'm thinking to myself immediately, okay, how is this ladder going to work? How does the ladder work in this game? So I walk up to it, and I'm like, I don't see any button prompts. So I'm like, okay, he just probably, there's ladder, start walking off it, animation, he's going to turn around and start crawling down the ladder. Nope, walked right off that fucking antenna and died. I reload. I was like,
best ending to that story.
I was like, what the fuck? I didn't have to hit a button to latch onto the ladder. What the fuck? So it reloads, which, by the way, the reload was pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that's nice. and it thankfully, it checkpointed just after the conversation that I had. So I don't have to go through that whole thing again. And I turn around and I walk back and I look down at it and it's like, press X to climb. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. Why is it X to climb down but not X to climb up?
Yeah, I had the same thing because and you'll run this again because the mission you're going to do next, there's a ladder section. It's not nearly as devastating as falling off of a radio antenna. But like Jackie walks over and he goes right up a ladder. And I was like, all right, I'll walk over. And dude just grabs, like V just grabs a hold and walks up the ladder. I was like, oh, cool.
He walks up the ladder, yeah.
When I was walking back, he goes down a ladder. I walk over, and instantly it says X to climb. And I was like, okay, X. And he jumps on. But then he, like, essentially slides down the ladder. And I was like, okay, I guess that's how it works. But I was thinking to myself the same thing. I was like, I'm walking this ladder. I'm like, how the fuck do I get down a ladder? Like, is it going to be...
How the fuck do I get down a ladder? Yes.
Yep. But then once I saw the X, I was like, oh, here we go, the X, which is weird. But yeah, no, so far I have 5 hours into it, and I haven't started story missions yet.
Yeah, and that's one cool thing about
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the game, you can beat it without playing any of the story missions.
Right? Yeah, it's weird. There's so, like, when you start playing again, Joe, probably not gonna be tonight because you're probably gonna go to bed here pretty soon because the sun's been down for like 3 hours.
Go to bed.
But when you get back in the game, just try to remember, just open the map real quick before you do anything, like before you leave your apartment, just open the map and just try to take it in, because there is so much shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Night City has to be the most dangerous place I have ever experienced in my life.
Dude, you watch a shootout between the cops and a couple of carjackers within the first couple of minutes of driving through Night City.
When
and literally Jackie, who's with you, is just like, yeah, that's Tuesday for you.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking a couple of carjackers come into this literal car that's like maybe 20 yards in front of you. And then one of the police hovercrafts come along. These heavy armored police guys just drop out, just fucking kill everybody there. And then they're just like, okay, move along.
We just murdered these guys. Don't worry about it. We repainted half this car brain colored.
Is like, this is just Tuesday night in Night City.
Yeah, dude. It's like
how much weird nudity is in this game if it turned on? No, seriously, because you're driving again. This is just the point where I'm driving from the end of the first mission to your apartment, and you're looking at these Blade Runner-esque neon signs.
Titties.
And you're literally like, okay, well, that girl is just literally sitting there giving the, I don't even know what that's called, but the, tongue between the fingers sign. You have something called MILF, what was it? It was MILF something or other.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I saw
a chick in bondage gear. And just all kinds of other stuff that is so sexually laced. It's so weird to see in a video game. Like how close to an NC-17 rating or an AO rating this game seems to come, but doesn't get it.
I don't know if it's going to be available in Australia, because here's a little pro tip for y'all. It's very easy to take off your clothes when you're in an inventory screen in your stash in your house.
Because you can do that?
Yeah, so when you go in your apartment, you have a stash room. It tells you, hey, go check out your stash. It has all your guns and shit, right? We can go through different categories, and each one's like, here's your weapons, here's your accessories, blah, 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 right? One is your clothing. And here's, like, if you've been collecting stuff like I have, you have a myriad of the same colored pants, because I have a bunch. And I wasn't paying attention. It doesn't stop you from taking and putting what you're currently wearing into the stash, because I wasn't paying attention. So when you're wearing something, or you have something equipped, gun, whatever it is, the bottom corner of the icon has a blue light on it. If it doesn't, it's blank. It's just a blank corner. I didn't know that right away. I thought, like most games, if you equip something, it takes that out of the pool of stuff you have. No. This isn't, when you go to your stash, you're not looking in your backpack, you're looking in your inventory. That's everything you have. Yeah. So I put a bunch of stuff in there. I didn't know I was wearing these ones. I thought there was something else. And I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this one because I'm going to put this one on, right? And I'll go back in my stash. So I put a bunch of stuff away, go into my character screen, so hit the start button, go to the inventory, and there's my dude wearing nothing but a vest and a fucking dick. So I have this flopping fucking dick just hanging out. I look like a reject from fucking Magic Mike. Because I just got my fucking, my 1 meat 2 veg just bouncing around on the screen. And of course, I chose a completely, like, tattooed body. So there I am. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, where are my pants at? And I go and look at my, like, I click on, and yeah, the box is right there, and they're empty. I was like, I was wearing pants before. I know I was.
You're like, I'm pretty sure I walked around in pants before I got here.
Yeah, so then I had to go fucking, put pants back on. And I was like, can you imagine if I didn't go and look at that screen, I'd walked out with no armor on because why? My dick's hanging out?
Can you beat the game like that? You need to try to beat the game like that.
I was like,
sure somebody's going to make a nude run.
Yeah, well, I was like, apparently I need to invest in, like, melee capabilities or something, because, like, I was like, holy shit, okay, well, lesson learned, don't unequip your clothes, because guess what? The game doesn't prompt you saying you're unequipping it.
I did think it was funny how much armor, like, a fucking t-shirt gives you, too. I was
like,
oh, okay.
So
this gives me 5 armor.
Yeah, I read that, too.
Goddamn t-shirt. I was like, all right.
Yeah, some of them. One of them is like it was called Armor something or other, and it was a T-shirt, and I was like, and it says in the description, it's like for those times when you're casually in a gunfight, and I was like, casually in a gunfight, and then I was casually in a gunfight.
Oh,
after the mission we just did, I was walking around just kind of chilling, and then I hear gunfire. So I go over and I was like, "Oh, what's happening over here?" And the police are in this fucking straight up gunfight with these bad guys.
Just running around. Who started a shootout without me?
That's exactly what I did. I went down those stairs. I watched a pedestrian get fucking riddled with bullets because they're just standing there like, "Oh my god!" Blah, blah, blah. Like I was like, "Nah, civilian, your death is not going unjustified." I run right past the police and start gunning these motherfuckers down with my new assault rifle. It's in burst mode, and I'm tearing these dudes in half. Like, literally, I cut a guy's arm off with bullets. I thought, well, that doesn't seem healthy. And then the best part is you go to loot the bodies, and you're sitting there, and you're watching the blood pool spread under their bodies as you're literally taking their clothes off their body.
Gnarly.
Yeah, like you walk up, because you can scan people, and it shows you like what they have, like that, and you just walk over, and it highlights automatically, like, hey, this dude's got a grenade, and this guy's got fucking shotgun shells. I was like, take all. Blood pool's just spreading. I was like, fuck it. My bullets now, bitch. I accidentally shot a hooker. My bad.
Accidentally.
I did accidentally, because she was in the background of the gunfight. I didn't realize that. I was like, hey, this girl doesn't look like she has a gun. She didn't. I was like,
that's what we call collateral damage.
Sorry, the bullets went through that guy into you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that gold necklace, though. Thank you. And yes, I did steal a gold necklace off a dead hooker. Don't judge me.
Not judging you.
So yeah, it's really fun, and it is just open that map, Joe. It's fucking nuts, dude. It's crazy.
So far it is.
Yeah. Wait till the next mission, the first real mission you do, is bonkers. Like there's hacking and there's all sorts of gunfight stuff, and if you can do it stealth stuff, I fucked up bad.
I fucked up so bad in that first mission that I died a bunch of times.
I just murdered my way through a bunch of people.
And I got it right.
Yeah, like I was like, nah. Like, because you have to pick and choose what you hack, because not everything really is that distractive. Like, you turn the light off, they're like...
game that they have going on, too, is... I don't get it yet.
Yeah, it takes a little to get used to, like, understand what it is. Like, a lot of it's distraction stuff, or, like, hacking someone's optics to make them go blind for a couple seconds.
But the actual hacking is what I'm saying. Like, where you have to pick the numbers and stuff. Like, it's not clicking with me yet.
Yeah.
I get you have to match the numbers.
Yep.
But, like, for some reason, I'm like, okay, I select that one. And then the thing goes up, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I... It's not going over to the... What the fuck? What the hell's going on here? Okay, well, I hit B. Oh, fail. What?
Yeah. It took me a while to understand it, too, and it's kind of hard to explain. But when you look at the codes you need, will go by up, down, left, right. So, like, for the first number, sometimes you'll see that if it's, like... If there's multiple codes you have to pick from, like there's like you want to do this, there's this code. If you want to do this, there's this code. If you want to do this, there's this code. You have to look at which one you're looking, choose where it's at in the thing, and look at the row, and the row will have the rest of the sequence in it, and that's when you have to choose. So it's not just straight.
I get that, but for some reason, like I would select the first block, and then for some reason I can't select the second block.
Yeah, it's
I
very
can't move
bizarre.
on beyond the first one. Like I don't know what the fuck is not going on there.
It was weird to me at first, and I don't think I have it completely, but I did do an advanced one where I got a bunch of intel that gave me like $10,000. I was like, all right, cool, I'll take $10,000. I was like, I'm gonna go put arms in my or blades in my arms and start poking people with fucking mantis blades, because I have one that has heat damage to it, so it fucking burns them as you cut them. I was like, yeah, I'm going to cut a bitch and burn a bitch? Yes, please. With fucking blades that come out of my forearms? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck you. Yeah, I cut you, but I cauterized it.
At the end of that, you would be even more set.
Oh my god. If you put a gun on the end, it's like stab, punch, fucking shoot, burn? Yeah, okay, I'm in. For sure. I did get a gun that has smart bullets yet, and I have to get my eyes upgraded so I can track the bullets, though.
That's cool.
I'm going to shoot bitches around corners.
Yeah, you will.
I'm like, tag that dude.
Unwanted
Pow,
shit.
pow. Yeah, dude, without like having to like fucking swing my
bullets.
arm. Then I'm going to run up and smash Chris Pratt in the face with a fucking keyboard.
No, I'm just going to be shouting Fifth Element every time that happens.
Fifth Element!
Fifth Element!
Gary
Yeah, noise
Oldman!
complaints.
Luke Benson!
Okay, that's it for this week's episode,
That's
everybody.
it, yeah.
We've run over our hour. Thanks, Mike.
Runneth over.
Comes naturally, we are.
Go.
Mike.
I am Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Boom.